we have new features to improve your busy experience. Stick around for a few minutes and I'll tell you about each of them. In the past, when it came to time tracking, a busy user always had the ability to track time for themselves, in addition to the optional supervisor time tracking or kiosk mode time tracking. This allowed users to clock themselves in and out from their phone, sign their time cards, see their schedule, read company messages, and view their time entries, along with other things. But what if you don't want your employees to track time for themselves, but you still want them to have access on their phones to everything else? Well, now we have an option for you. With this update, you can use permissions to disable self-time tracking for a desired position. So for example, maybe you want an admin to track time for your warehouse employees. Go to Positions under Settings, select your warehouse employee's position, and under Track Time For, you can disable self-time tracking. Now your warehouse employees will not be able to clock themselves in or out. However, and here's the cool part, they will still be able to see their time card entries, sign their time cards, see their work schedules, access company messages if you have Bulletin, request time off, and do everything else that a time tracking employee can do, all from their newly designed dashboard screen. They can see if they're currently clocked in or out, their hours for this week, along with their regular, overtime, and double overtime hours for this pay period, and everything else. They're just not able to clock themselves in or out. Their time will be entered by a higher position. At Busy, we're all about flexible time tracking, and being able to disable self-time tracking for a position gives you even more time tracking flexibility. Another permission update that's new with this release is the permission option to manage time off. Previous to this release, managing time off was tied in with editing time entries, but now there's a separate permission for managing time off that allows a position to add, edit, delete, and approve time off. So for example, if you want your supervisors to be able to edit time, but not manage time off, well, now you can separate those permissions with our new Manage Time Off permission. There's one more update with this release that has to do with time off, and that's the ability to request time off from the web, which is handy if you have like an office crew or an accounting team that uses Busy from their computer. Now they can request time off right from their computer instead of using their phones. And that's done by clicking on My Status and clicking on Request Time Off. And here they can see their own time off report and request time off by clicking the blue button and filling out the time off information. We released our company messaging feature called Bulletin a couple months ago, and we are continuing to grow that feature. From within Bulletin, you can use the filters to find the messages attached to specific projects. But with this release, you can find a project's posts a second way, by going to Projects, clicking on a project, and then clicking on Bulletin. This will bring up all the messages for that project without having to apply the filter. Same if you go to Equipment. Select a specific piece of equipment and then click Bulletin. Company messaging, or Bulletin as we call it, is an add-on feature, and it's also part of our premium package. The last feature to tell you about today is really cool. It's called Performance Scores. In the world of construction, where every moment counts, having a clear understanding of your project's performance can be the difference between success and setbacks. That's where Busy's new performance scoring comes into play. Performance Scores gives your company a real-time shared understanding of how your projects are going. It's a live, updating score that takes into consideration the latest hours tracked and all of the work performed on each cost code. The project score tells you what you want to know, like whether this week's job performance is ahead or behind of the project's budget expectations, with a rating system that every employee from the job site to the office can understand. To start tracking a project's performance, you need three things: a project budget that includes cost codes, time tracked to that project and its cost codes, and progress tracking. After the project's budget is set, and guys start tracking time to that project and its cost codes, and progress is being recorded, then the performance scores will start to populate. A project score not only indicates overall project performance, but it also provides a breakdown score for each cost code, so you can see exactly how each cost code is performing. Because sometimes when a project seems to be going badly, the solution is as simple as finding and fixing the one thing that isn't working. So what happens when you start using performance scores? Well, communication improves because real-time performance scores encourage real-time conversations as everyone works to identify problems and celebrate successes. Supervisors quickly realize that any work done outside the original job specifications will hurt a project's performance score, so they're faster to identify work that needs to become a change order. Everyone becomes invested in hiring skilled workers. Ineffective workers are let go or trained to be better. Managers make sure teams have access to the right kind of equipment, and when the weather is bad, crews are proactively transferred to help projects keep performance scores up. And finally, because performance scores help establish benchmarks and comparisons, you'll be able to make more accurate bids on future jobs. With project performance scores, you and your employees will have the information to make informed, real-time decisions that will maximize project profitability. And who doesn't want that? If you already have progress tracking, then performance scoring is ready for you to start using right now. You just need to ensure that both labor hours and progress budgets are enabled under your budget settings, and then check the performance scores box. If you don't already have progress tracking and performance scores, and you see the value in using them at your company, then reach out to us and we can get that turned on for you. Performance scoring, along with these other exciting features, make up our 2023.4 release. Big shout out to everyone who worked so hard to make all these new features possible. We'll be back soon with even more new features. But until then, you know what to do. Stay busy.